So a funnel is basically something, it's not a website, it's just a one-page site, and it's really intended to do something a little bit different than your website. So your website, some people have heard me talk about this, is really for for getting more information about your business, your brand, and the things you do and everything else, but it's not a very good thing for getting people to convert and opt in to become a contact. So in our funnel, even though we have links at the top here, these really just go to different sections of the page. And so for this is our software funnel to convert more leads into sales. And it talks a little bit about the software and scaling system, how it makes it faster to get leads, to make a connection to your lead, and then how to let the whoever opts in to book a consultation on your calendar, and also connect to your cell phone that you can immediately, if you're available, or if you will communicate with that new lead for your CRM. And then having the automation set up so that you're able to automate some of the repetitive tasks. So in the sales process world, we all have to keep sending emails or phone calls and things like that. So as you grow the system, it becomes easier to use because you don't have to keep doing the same thing over and over again. And then having a good reporting system on the back end of it so that you can see all of the KPIs and the performance and the communication that you have with all of your contacts. A little bit more about all the different features in the platform. And then, so talking a little bit about this is what a funnel looks like. And then what I usually look for when I'm talking to somebody is I look for this chat widget here in the right corner, in the bottom right corner. Now, this has been around forever, years, over 10 years or more, when they started figuring out that people were looking for this. And if you opt in here, the big difference now is that when you send a message here, if I opt in, and it might be like Tony Bova and my phone number, and then maybe a different email to keep it separate. And as soon as you click send, now what happens is you immediately, I will get a text message from the CRM to my cell phone if the phone number has been if the phone number that you entered is a cell phone. So then inside the CRM or on my mobile app, I will see that communication come through so that I can track that conversation. So then what I do is I go to the CRM. And then I should see that conversation come through. Come through as a new contact. So we didn't get it. It must be because I'm already in the system as a contact. So one of the things you can do is I will drop the funnel link here in the chat so that you can enter your information, and then you'll get the text back directly. So we'll go here. So I just put the link to the funnel page in the meeting chat here. So you should be able to see that. Let me know if you can't see it in the chat here. And you can always unmute if you want to, if you have any questions. So while you're looking that up, maybe on another screen or something, the other part of the automated funnel is that when you click on a conversion such as a purchase, then if you fill out this form with your name but don't complete the purchase, it will enter you into a workflow. So the reason there's a two-step order form here is because if I decide not to complete it, then I will become an abandoned cart user. And then the CRM will start sending me information to my phone, checking back and determining if I have, since I didn't complete the order, if there's anything that you possibly need from us to complete that order. So in the CRM, we have these workflows here. And so when a new lead comes in, then these start firing off, these triggers. And so the trigger will send an internal notification to whoever did that particular operation. It'll create an opportunity in your pipeline here. It'll send a confirmation to the user, the contact, and then it'll also start sending reminders here. And so these are how we program all of the workflows that are automated, and what they are the experience of what happens when you're inside of the funnel. So the funnel is basically the workflows. So the visual part, the outside part of the funnel is what you see here. But the inside are all of these different workflow automations that we build for you. So that's the gist of it. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and have you come back on off mute if you have any questions about that particular part of this, and then we can dive a little bit deeper into some of those questions you might have. How about you, Andy? Got any questions?
You might have an echo. You're on my house speakers, by the way, but
okay.
Let me know if you do and I'll turn it down. Right now I'm just like, I use my iPad, so I'm at 101 and don't use a lot. You know me, I'm kind of out back in the hills here on I've got 0.5 G. That's how fast my internet works. So right now I'm just trying to pay attention and take notes.
Okay.
Grasp using the system, and I just started hooking all my devices up and learning how to use the basic stuff that I have. So this is a giant leap for mankind here for me.
All right. I don't know.
So I'm just trying to learn. I might be at the back of the pack on some of this learning speed at my age. And like I said, you've known me my whole life playing with Pong.
So, well, the basic
I'm
idea.
Getting used to the new devices.
Yeah. So the fundamental factor here is AI chatbots, and it's a hot topic right now. And if you haven't heard about them, you're going to. So more and more people are starting to hear from other platforms. Go ahead and mute and Andy, and then I'll just continue on kind of explaining why we're really focused on the AI chat bot as sort of the easy and quick win that we can do right now. Because when it comes to CRMs, what's really happened in the past and what's been notoriously the problem is it becomes unwieldy and hard to manage. So as a HubSpot partner agency for 12 years, we really struggled with that a lot because smaller businesses just don't have the bandwidth to do it. And we don't really have the ability to keep track of all that stuff that's going on in the platform. And so the next generation of CRMs that you're going to see are really going to be about communication and how to maintain communication with multiple people. Now, so the chat widget, even though it's just a small piece, is really the key element of how people become a contact and how they move through your sales process. So, so for example, in our pipeline, when somebody makes that first contact, they get an immediate text message back from us. They get an email confirmation on anything that they've done. If they've set up a calendar appointment or whatever we're trying to do. So if somebody wants to, you know, in our funnel here, we have sort of a couple of different things that people want to do. They might want to sign up for a 15-day free trial right here. They might want to book a demo. So if they're going to do that, then they can enter this information, and then we can email them back, or we can just send the calendar link directly to them to book on our calendar based on our availability as well as and I'm not sharing my screen, so it's not making much sense, but I'll reshare here. And being kind of new to Zoom here, it's a little bit, I don't know if I'm doing it right with this with the screen share because you guys disappear. But so anyway, on our funnel here, we have it set up on a couple different things to do. You're going to either book a demo, which will take you to a form to fill out to pick a day and a time, and then we'll confirm that. The other option is to buy now, right? So if I fill out the form here, if I start with there's my name, email, I'm not sure if I was sharing during this, but I'll just double do it again here. All right. And then if I abandon the cart, then I'm going to get emails sent to me about, hey, you didn't really fill out the form or finish that. And then I'll get more workflow automation set up. So, or sent to me. So really those are the key points of the AI. And there's some options too when we're talking about this bot over here. We can set up the AI to communicate with the AI directly, but that could cause an AI conversation that happens without our knowledge. So the way I've configured our funnel is to basically they have to opt in, and then that communication carries over to the cell phone instead of having it right on the website. Now, if I wanted to have a support page, then that would be a different story for having an AI to kind of facilitate the conversation, pre-qualify people, or try to help them initially before sending them to a support agent to make things run smoother. Now, the biggest difference and the biggest advantages are if obviously you don't need as many people to do stuff if you have AI helping you do it. So that reduces your operations cost, but which saves you money, right? Because you have less people. Now, the other part is that as you build out your automations and workflows, then it keeps the people more engaged with your company instead of just hearing from them whenever. And the speed to lead thing here is really the biggest thing, and that's why it's at the top of the list. Was you want to be, if somebody's calling your competitors and they're trying to decide if they're going to hire you or them, the quickest connection that you make to that potential lead, the better. And being able to automate that in the nurturing process in the workflow. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing here. All right, so that's kind of it in a nutshell. I was going to just see if anybody else had any questions while we're here. Has anybody had a chance to opt in?
I had a question on the workflow. I guess my question is, what all different, how do I ask it? Wh- What different options do you have? I know you can email, you can text. I guess how adaptable is it to, like, can you use emojis? Can you, what kind of email? I guess that's how I would ask it, is what's the different ways that you can kind of adjust the workflows? Is it completely automated, or what different ways could you adjust what you are sending? I don't know if that makes sense if I asked it.
Yeah, that's a great question, Matthew. I'll just share the automation screen, but I'm going to show you one quick one of somebody that called me today and how the AI integrated with that conversation. So I'll share again. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Find the right screen. So someone called me inside here, the activity feed, and I was talking to them about referral, and somebody sent me, the person I was talking to sent me the email that I asked for. The AI came in here and it wasn't the perfect answer because I was already engaged with this person, but it's there and it has helped with some of those conversations. Now, the automation question that you had was, there's an unlimited number of things that we can do with automation. It can get quite sophisticated. So if we're running a campaign, like an email campaign, then this is sort of a quick and easy automation sequence of 3 different emails going out that are separated by a certain day. And so you have your first email here and the action and the actual email. Now, when you're adding triggers in here, not to get too technical because this can get kind of crazy, but you have all of these different types of actions that you can do. It's sort of programmatically possible. So what I like to think of in terms of how we build these automations is we start with something really simple and small, and then we just kind of add to it over time. Does that make sense and answer your question, Matthew?
Yeah, seeing that exactly, yeah. What all different options? Okay, so there's many options of the triggers and what would happen. Cool.
Yeah, and it's really overwhelming at any stage. It's always going to be a work in progress when it comes to, how many workflows someone needs. So, what I typically do will set up, say, there are pipelines here. When people are in different stages of our sales process, and then as things happen, somebody moves from one stage to the next, then different things happen. So if I wanted to automate a process where after I had talked to the appointment and completed the appointment, and I wanted it just to send out an email, then we can set up that in the automation here. So if I was talking to one contact and I took it to assessment, then I would maybe I want to automate, thank you for the call. I really appreciate meeting with me. And so the conversation and the engagement it's continuous and not left out. Anything else on that?
No, that answered my question perfectly.
Okay. Anybody else have a question? Okay.
That's impressive. That's impressive, Tony. There's a lot there. You can tell you put some time into that. You write all that program?
Oh no,
did you create this?
There's
or
a
did
company
you just put it together?
Yeah, we lease the platform from another company that basically built a wholesale product for agencies. So in terms of it's a unicorn valuation at $1 billion now. But the difference between this CRM and every other CRM out there, like HubSpot or Salesforce, is they white label it and we use their software so that we can combine our services with the software instead of separating those out. Because if you try to use HubSpot and you know try to figure, you can't figure out how to use it, you got to hire an agency, and that gets really expensive. So instead of having two different things going on and two different entities to deal with, it's all combined into a seamless experience. And so that's why it's a game changer. Also, being a new company, they're ahead of HubSpot and Salesforce as far as in integrating AI. So there's a way that the integrated AI can be trained out of the box pretty simply with your content on your website and whatever else you want to program it with. It starts out a little bit glitchy. I don't know if you've used ChatGPT or anything like that, but it's not very good until the prompts are right. So we do have to go through that onboarding process of training the bot, what kind of answers of what we're trying to do. So for example, if you're trying to book an appointment or a consultation, you know, and you're not available, smaller companies, we're usually not available. We're either with a client or working on something. Then we want to have the AI being in the background, kind of making sure that we don't lose that connection and that they're off to the competitor. So that's really the tip of the iceberg and really the key element and the big transformation that's happening with AI, and how we're just using the very simplest process, which is onboarding. We want quick wins for our clients. So usually that consists of a couple different things. It could be a contact activation. If you have a bunch of contacts that haven't heard from you for a long time, then we can run a sequence of workflows that automate that email sequence to re-engage them. Now once the phone number is set up on your website, then we can set up a missed call text back. So if somebody calls your business and you don't answer, they get an immediate text back from your sorry I missed your call. Someone will be back to get back to you as soon as possible. These days, most people use cell phones. It doesn't work with landlines and businesses, but when I'm making sales calls, I know that over 50% are cell phones that I'm communicating with. So that really helps with keeping that engagement working with the prospective customer of yours. We have a couple other tricks in the bag, but I won't go into them. Just to reinforce a couple of different promotions that we're doing right now. Because it's a newer platform, we're doing free onboarding, which is weekly calls one-on-one for up to 8 weeks or longer. That is really the game changer for learning about your business and making sure the tool is set up to work with your business. Because if you try to onboard with HubSpot, which charges you $3,000, then all they cared about is onboarding you for using their software. That if you want more help than that, then you have to hire an agency on top of that, and it gets really expensive. The other part of this, we want to set up a funnel for you, so we do that for free as part of your onboarding. The funnel is template based. We have there's probably 1,000 different templates of funnels that we use, and we populate those funnels. So in terms of how the funnel works is, if you're sending any kind of connection to, if you're sending people to your website or something like that, and you're doing sales activities, then we use the funnel instead. So it sits in front of the website, and it's more intentional to try to convert an anonymous user to become a contact. And so those pieces together, and along with, and I haven't formalized it yet, but really what the biggest part of all of this is the consulting that we do for the first 2 months. So what we do is I'm calling it CRM coach, but it's probably gonna be something else during those 2 months. That's something where me or whoever is helping, it's me right now until we get more people. That there's things in your business that we'll uncover and that we can find solutions for in addition to onboarding with the tool. All of those 3 things you won't find anywhere else as far as I found working with CRMs for the last 14 years. I've never found another agency or another platform that does all that. So any other questions? All right, well, I guess that will conclude this webinar. I am available anytime. You can reach me, should be able to reach me through all of the connections that you already have. And if I don't answer, the AI will. So I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.